Welcome back to NHK Newsline. I'm Kanako Sakno. The UN Security Council has held an emergency meeting at the request of Russia following an attack on the western part of the country bordering Ukraine. The governor of the Belgorod region says the attack on Saturday killed 24 people. Russian authorities accused Kyiv of carrying out the attack. On Friday, Russia launched a large-scale missile attack on Kyiv and other major cities across Ukraine. At the Council's emergency meeting, Russian ambassador to the UN, Vasily Nebensia, said Ukraine conducted a terrorist attack on civilian targets. In response, the Ukrainian representative condemned the Kremlin for Friday's missile and drone attacks by Russia, but did not mention the strike on Western Russia. Western countries called for an immediate withdrawal of Russian forces from Ukraine. Council members from Africa and South America called on both Russia and Ukraine to hold talks to de-escalate the situation and achieve peace to reduce civilian casualties. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his country's war against Hamas will continue for many more months. Netanyahu told reporters on Saturday that achieving victory requires more time. He said his country will continue to fight until the goals of the war have been achieved, namely the elimination of Hamas and a release of all the hostages. He added that as Prime Minister, he has rejected international pressure aimed at stopping the war before Israel achieves its goals. Civilian casualties are increasing as Israeli forces continue their ground offensive and air attacks across the Gaza Strip. Health authorities in Gaza said on Saturday the death toll has risen to over 21,600. Meanwhile, Yemen's anti-government Houthi group continues attacking vessels passing through the Red Sea. The group has expressed solidarity with Hamas. The U.S. Central Command says its forces shot down 2 anti-ship ballistic missiles targeting a Singapore-flagged container vessel on Saturday. The command says the ship had requested its assistance after being struck by a missile while navigating the southern Red Sea. It says there are no reported injuries. The command says it was the 23rd attack by the Houthis on international shipping since November 19th. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has announced plans to launch 3 more military reconnaissance satellites in 2024. The ruling Workers' Party newspaper Rodon Shinmun reported on Sunday that the party had ended a 5-day Central Committee meeting the day before. The newspaper carried Kim's speech on policies for 2024, including plans to launch 3 more spy satellites. North Korea had announced its first successful launch of a military reconnaissance satellite in November. The leader also reportedly vowed to steadily increase the country's nuclear arsenal. According to the report, Kim also said he will no longer consider South Korea a potential counterpart for unification under the Yoon Suk-yeol administration. He said inter-Korean relations have become those of 2 hostile countries. Kim reportedly stressed that he intends to further strengthen his country's military to counter the United States, Japan, and South Korea. China. Senior military officials from its top legislative body, the National People's Congress. The NPC Standing Committee made the announcement on Friday, but gave no reasons. A Hong Kong media outlet says those dismissed include top officials of the military's rocket force. It says the move could be related to a corruption probe reportedly underway into procurements by the force, which manages nuclear and missile arsenals. There's speculation of a major crackdown. Some foreign media reports say former Defense Minister Li Shanfu was involved in the corruption. Li was dismissed in October without an immediate replacement. The Standing Committee on Friday appointed Dong Jun, a former top commander of the Chinese Navy, as Defense Minister. There have been other dismissals. On Wednesday, 3 senior executives at military-related companies were removed from the top-level advisory body called the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. China's Communist Party has failed to hold a key meeting by the end of the year, possibly due to economic turmoil in the country. The meeting is known as the Third Plenum and usually takes place every 5 years. It was expected to happen in the autumn, as it normally opens in the year after the party's biggest meeting, the Party Congress. Observers suggest the delay is due to the fact that leaders have been unable to come up with effective measures to deal with the struggling economy. China's property market is in a slump and the job market is weak. Leaders would need to show concrete policies at the meeting to address these problems. Japan's foreign ministry is planning to enhance the framework under which it provides defense equipment to the militaries of like-minded countries. Official Security Assistance, or OSA, is aimed at deepening such security cooperation. Japan has agreements to provide surveillance radar, rescue boats, drones and other equipment to the Philippines, Malaysia, Bangladesh and Fiji. Vietnam and Djibouti are candidates to receive such assistance. The move to strengthen the framework comes as China steps up its maritime activities. The Foreign Ministry is requesting about $35 million for the OSA budget for the fiscal year starting in April. That's more than double the amount for the current fiscal year. The OSA framework is more and more important given the increasingly severe international situation. The Foreign Ministry plans to strategically strengthen it. The Ministry also plans to expand the administrative division that oversees the framework. A non-profit